Hello, hello everybody. Hello Oleg. Put something in the Discord. So hey Laszlo, welcome guys. We're gonna give it a few more minutes for people to be able to come over, and then we can start. Hey, hi Sakura. Doing well. Here in the US we had a little bit of rain yesterday and the day before, which was good for the garden. I don't have to water the plants, but other than that, it's too hot today. Put some music on for a minute. A little bit of dance music. This music is from somebody called Mike Leite, or Light, L-E-I-T-E, and it's called Vacaciones, so vacations. and I made sure that this is a no copyright music. Otherwise, YouTube is very notorious. If you put a song, they will not allow your stream to go through. It will actually stop it because of copyright infringement. So yeah, amen to that. We definitely need a vacation, Sakura. Hello, Domuland developer. Yes, Phalcon is alive. And that was it. Let us begin. We waited for nearly 10 minutes after. We got around 8 people, concurrent viewers for now. So welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking time to join our Hangout here with a community update, a status update, and we're going to release 5.0.0 Alpha 2 today. So without further ado, let's get over to the agenda for today. Of course, as always, we have the introduction and welcome to all attendees, everybody that's here. Hello MTN, Domilan, Sakura, Laszlo, Oleg, and whoever is out there that I haven't spoken to or hasn't sent a hi into the chat. Of course, as always, it sounds like a broken record, as they say here in the US, but we have to thank the whole community and our contributors for keeping this project and pushing us to produce better code and help everybody out. Then we're going to talk about a roadmap and what is the support chart. Just to give you an idea of what is supported, what is not supported. There has been a lot of confusion with the versions in Phalcon recently, so we just want to make sure that this is clear. We're going to talk a little bit about the 4.1.2 release that was released earlier this week. We're going to talk about Zephyr or Zephyr. Oh, Zephyr is the real how it was invented, but a lot of people call it Zephyr. It doesn't matter. Versions 5, version 6, and the help that we need for the project. And at the end of the day, at the end of the presentation, we're going to have Q&A. In the meantime, if you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask it in the chat. I have it up. I will stop at at an appropriate time just to answer the question that you guys might have. Alright, so this slide is always here and will always be here along with the next one. Huge thank you to our awesome community. You can see how much the community engages us and how many bugs are being found, how many issues are being opened. We have a good amount of people discussing and asking questions in Discord. Even posting music or random stuff, which is great to see. We also have good interactions in our social media accounts, mostly on Twitter and Facebook and Reddit. The other social media not as much, but we have the accounts there just in case somebody wants to engage us in those platforms. And also a huge thank you to the translators that are working on our documentation, trying to make to offer Phalcon in their native tongue. It is really awesome that you guys are taking the time to help us with translating our documentation. This slide pretty much shows you how the translations are being entered into the documentation. It takes a little bit of time from the time that a translation is updated / approved until it ends up in the documentation. Currently it's a manual process, but you know, that's how we work for now. Welcome to Rookie X, who joins us from Malaysia. I bet that's what it's tomorrow there, or yeah, it's probably tomorrow there. Malaysia is what, 12 hours ahead of us or something like that. So yeah, oh my gosh. Anyway, all right, let's get on to the support chart. This is a chart that we posted in a recent blog post that came out yesterday, I think. It's to clarify about the Phalcon roadmap and what is supported and what is not supported. We did not put versions 1 and 2 there. I know for a fact that quite a few people still use version 1, believe it or not, after all these years, because you know, it works. Let it ride, which is great, but unfortunately we cannot support that version. So we put on the most recent ones. I believe the bulk of the community is on version 3. So 3, 3.4, 3.5, I don't recall what the latest one, I think it was 3.4, had the supported versions of PHP 5.5, 5.6, 7.0, 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3. This version is no longer supported. We dropped support quite a long time. Version 4 again is not supported. It does work with 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4 PHP. Version 4.1 is supported, and that one is for 7.2, 7.3, and 7.4 PHP. And of course, version 5 is supported. It is in alpha yet. It's 7.4 and 8, and version 6 again 7.4 and 8. For the PHP 8, Laszlo, I'm gonna expand a little bit more when we reach the slide for Zephyr, which is a couple of slides down, just to give you an idea what we had to do in order to get PHP 8. This is available also in our blog post, and the link is up here if you want to check it out. All right, so 4.1.2, we released that. We tried to release it a week or two ago. We made a mistake. It was intentional. It was initially 4.1.1, but we forgot to change something, a little string in the PECL package. So in order to not to remove something and try to put it back in, we just bumped the version by 1. So this is pretty much a maintenance release. It had just a couple of fixes, and as I said, 4.1.1 had the wrong PECL version, hence we have 4.1.2. I think it was mostly the JWT, the JSON Web Tokens. If you wanted to extend the claims, the actual property was private, and we changed it to protected. So that was the big change over there. And that one is live for whoever wants to update. Now, let's talk about Zephyr. As we mentioned, what was it, August or something? So well over 6 months ago, we had a problem in Phalcon when Sergey decided that he no longer can support the project. You know, family, everything happens. By all means, he wasn't able to help. So instead of trying to um, fool himself, if you like, that he could help the project and try to tackle life. He just came out and said, listen guys, I'm not going to be able to help. So that was it. At that time, we made the decision to change Phalcon into a native PHP framework because nobody knows C, and more to the point, nobody can support Zephyr. In the meantime, we started that effort already, and there is a repository for that. But Jefferson and Alexander started stepping up a little bit. Jefferson started learning C, especially the Zen language, the Zen engine, rather, the C language, after Sergey left. And he did manage to go ahead with a lot of good support and a lot of good changes and really, really excellent fixes on stuff that we had lingering there for even for years. So with the help of Alexander and other resources on the internet, him and Alexander managed to fix approximately 100 plus issues that have been lingering in Zephyr for over the last, I don't know how many years, and all that was done in the last 4 months, 4.5 months. As I mentioned, there were bugs lingering for years. One of the biggest things that Jefferson did is he fixed the stubs generation, and the stubs generation is a little bit weird because you have to generate the stubs by reading a language that no PHP parser / generator can read. So in normal PHP, in native PHP rather, you have tools such as Psalm or Psalm from Vimeo, or which one is the other one? It's the static analysis tools. Hi Anton, there you go, Jefferson is online. Yes, it's 4+ years, sorry. So there are static analysis tools that would allow you to check if your code is spot on, perfect. So you have Psalm, you have PHPMD, the mess detector, you have PHPCS, the code sniffer, and so on and so forth. The problem is that those do not work with Zephyr. So what we have been doing is we have been using the stubs generation method of Zephyr, or functionality of Zephyr. We will generate the stubs and then we'll run the analysis on those ID stubs, which you can use in your PHP store. Now, when we did that for the first time, that was before version 4 was released, and we identified a lot of misalignments. So the interface would say one thing, and then when you had the method in your class, it would be something totally different. And we did identify a lot of them. We did fix them. That's why we bumped the version from 3 to 4, because we had all these changes that went on. Unfortunately, we had a bug in the generation or two that was discovered by Anton or Jefferson, and that has been fixed. And also we added checks if those interfaces are not aligned when we have the Zephyr generation and or build. So even if you make a mistake in your interface versus the class, now Zephyr will throw an error and just say, hey, you missed something. With that bug fix, we found a couple more areas, especially in the Phalcon DB namespace, that we had misalignments. So this is why we decided to bump the version one more time. So initially we were saying, all right, we're going to have version 4 which was going to be the PHP extension, and version 5 was going to be the native PHP. But because of these interface fixes, we had to shift things +1. So version 4 is version 4. Version 5 will again be a PHP extension, again with support for PHP 7.4 and PHP 8. And version 6 is going to be the native one, the PHP native. Jackerson posted also in the chat that if you want the IDE stubs, you can do composer require --dev Phalcon/id-stubs. You can install that via composer. You can have it in your PHP Storm. You can download it from the website, whichever way you want to install it. We shifted the version support in 0.13 to PHP 4 and PHP 8. There is no real reason to support PHP 7.3 because it's gonna stop receiving updates around either November or December this year. So we're keeping up with the supported versions of PHP. And yes, it is a push for people to upgrade, but with every upgrade, after the pain is gone of upgrading, you enjoy better performance and better little goodies that are available in the language. Now, sometimes I do understand people have applications that either the customer doesn't want to upgrade because they don't want to allocate any money. The notion of, hey, it works, don't touch it. That might happen. Sometimes people might say, you know what, it's too much effort to upgrade. There's no reason for me to upgrade and I'll just leave it, which are very fair points. But it also comes with the support. We are all humans. We do make mistakes, and those mistakes are at the end of the day, they are bugs which need to be fixed. So if something gets fixed and you desperately need that, then unfortunately you will have to upgrade if you haven't done that. So that's the way computers are and programs. So let's have a look at version 5. As I said, version 5 is again a PHP extension. It has those interface fixes, and we actually made some additional changes in order to prepare ourselves better when we do move to version 6. And I'll get to that a little bit more in the further slides. So as I said, the renumbering of versions was essential due to interface misalignment. So we had to make that 5. We do follow SEMVer. So anything that breaks compatibility needs to be a major version. So this is why we didn't keep the version 4. We had to go to 5. Currently, we have 24 active sprint tasks, and these are everything that goes into version 5. We're working on 3 of them, and we've already implemented 49 of them. So that's a good chunk of functionality that has been introduced or fixed. There were a few NFRs, but mostly were bugs. And actually, special kudos to Hans Wurst, I think. He is the one that has been opening issue after issue and just pushing us to fix different things. Of course, I'm not taking anything from the other members of the community that have written issues and reported issues back, but it seems that he's the one that just keeps on getting. Sakura, I'll get to that in a sec, okay? So now, like I said, we're releasing 5.0 Alpha 2 today. So for version 4, from version 4 to version 5, it was mostly interface corrections and refactoring, as I mentioned. We now have a new support namespace, so Phalcon/support, and we moved the version under that, as well as the debug under that. We also created a new helper class, so it's Phalcon support helper, and in there we're gonna put all the stuff that we had in the Phalcon helper area. So any str functions, so strings, arrays, concatenation, base64, JSON, all that stuff is going to go under the support. And there is a method to our madness, and I'll explain that in a sec. Also, what we're doing is slowly we're cleaning up the top level namespace. So you're not going to have Phalcon / component. You're going to have Phalcon / namespace and then the component. It will introduce some really interesting things. For instance, the Phalcon logger would probably become Phalcon logger, and it doesn't seem very nice, but we haven't been able to decide the best way to do this. But in the top namespace, anything comes from Phalcon, it will be just namespaces, not components, and that one will help us a lot in the future. That's why we're doing this change. So coming back very quickly to Sakura, he's asking why Phalcon extension was not split into many extensions instead of putting all in one extension. All right, so first of all, we didn't know how to do it. Okay, that's the honest question. The only thing that we knew, and as Zephyr was written, you could create one extension, you could have only one namespace into it. Now, Zend Engine does support multiple extensions that point to the same top level namespace with second level. So you could have an extension, let's say Phalcon / logger, and in there you can have the logger extension, right? Then you can have a Phalcon / storage and a Phalcon / HTTP. You could have those. Zend Engine will load them up so long as they have a different name. However, Zephyr was not designed for this, to split everything, and everything was just put into one. Also, trying to split everything, we did try this. We did try this in version 4, and I was talking to Sergey at the time, and he was just saying, we need at least 6 months to make changes to Zephyr to be able to create different extensions, one per namespace if you like. So we could have had Phalcon MVC, right? Phalcon-MVC extension, or the Phalcon- whatever logger, Phalcon-HTTP, Phalcon- So you could have all those. However, the problem is that you're increasing a lot the complexity, and a lot of people just want to type one command and that will be it. Initially, our vision was to have something like PECL, and the extensions that PHP has. So if you want GD functionality, you install the GD extension. If you want get text functionality, you install that. The problem that we came was not only with Zephyr, it was also with the fact that the code reuses components throughout. And because it's all the same extension, you don't really have to worry about whether anything is loaded or not. I'll give you an example. And I mentioned this with the new support namespace that we want to put all the helpers in there. Let's say you have the str functions where you do, let's say, camelize or uncamelize or lower, upper, and all that stuff. We use those throughout the framework. Now, if you split the framework into smaller extensions, you're going to find out that extension A uses let's say the text stuff, the str stuff, and then extension B loads the str stuff, and then you're wondering, all right, how is this gonna work? Is one gonna overlap the other? Because it was one extension, we didn't pay attention. There was no need really to make sure that each namespace is autonomous. It doesn't rely on anything else, and that is one of the worst things that that plagues developers. I know for a fact, let's say Symfony, or even better, which one is the one that has debal? Doctrine, right? If you want to load one thing in Doctrine, you're importing from so many namespaces in order to make that one component work. So that's pretty much the two main reasons that we didn't do that. Now, there is discussion as to split things into smaller stuff, and potentially, I'm not promising anything, we could see if we can split it but that will come in version 6 with the hybrid mode that we want to do, and more on that in the next slide. Okay. All right. So we're cleaning the top level namespace. We're adding the new support namespace, and it's just gonna be an extension again. So what will happen? Version 6. All right. So version 6 is gonna be a PHP native framework. Just like Laravel, Symfony, who else is out there? Yeah, Yi, Cake, whatever framework you want. The question, of course, that we're asked is, well, you just ruined Phalcon, right? Because Phalcon was very well known for having this extra performance right off the bat. Also, people really love the fact that you just have one command, you load the extension, you don't have a million files under your vendor folder. Understood. It is true, right? Like I mentioned earlier, as I mentioned earlier, the reason for moving into a PHP framework was because we didn't have the manpower to help with Zephyr. Even though Jackerson has stepped up significantly to help the project, we cannot continue as an extension. There's way too many variables for us to take into account, and bringing everything into a PHP native framework, and bear with me just one moment, will help the project tremendously. All right. Now, I did mention the word hybrid, and this is the third bullet point. So version 6, you can type composer require Phalcon. All right, and that one will bring the whole framework into your machine. And with the composer autoloader, you can just have all the functionality. Yes, it will be slower than the extension. That is understood, because you're going to have all these file reads for different files to be included. You're going to have additional files in your file system. Like I said, some people don't like that. That is understood. However, PHP is no longer PHP 5, it's PHP 8. From PHP 5, when Phalcon 1 and 2 were introduced, the difference between the performance of PHP and Phalcon was tremendous. You were looking at an insane amount of requests per second that one could achieve with Phalcon versus a pure PHP framework. Right? There's a few. If you want to, you can go to our blog. There's a couple of blog posts that we did a hello world, just for the fun of it, just to see how slow or how fast Phalcon is compared to different frameworks. And of course, it would just kill everything, right? With PHP 7, the minute PHP 7 was introduced, the official numbers were around 40% boost in performance right off the bat, because they rewrote things in the engine, they started doing better memory management, and so on and so forth. Now with PHP 8, Zend engine and the C implementation under the PHP interpreter and all that stuff is actually reaching the limits of C, what C can offer you as processing and all that stuff. So pure PHP versus a file-based PHP framework, you do not see that crazy difference that you were looking at, that 10, 20, 30% boost in performance. You might see one, maybe. And that 1% could very well be mitigated by getting a little bit of a higher virtual machine to run your website. So the cost versus reward is not as high as it used to be in PHP 5. All right? Now, I'm not trying to explain or convince anybody that an extension is as good as, or a pure PHP framework is as good as an extension. By no means. But what I'm saying is that in a lot of cases, extension and PHP native framework do not see a huge difference. So whether you have one or the other, you're not going to see that crazy amount of difference. Now, coming back to the third bullet point, V6 is going to be a hybrid framework. And what do we mean by that? V6 is going to be a PHP native framework, but parts of the framework are going to be available as an extension also. So what we're doing slowly is we're introducing benchmarks into the code to identify which parts of the framework are the slowest ones and which are not. So those parts that we're going to identify as being the slowest ones, what we're going to do is we're going to create an extension and put those namespaces in there. Now you understand why I said no more top level classes and only namespaces. It's to be able to do that. So what you could do is, let's say you install Phalcon with Composer, right? And then we realize that, for argument's sake, the storage engine or the logger or the DB are really slow compared to. What we could do and what we will do once we get that data is implement that functionality as an extension. So the Phalcon extension will have one or two classes. It's not going to be the whole framework. It's going to be one or two classes. So once you've installed Phalcon with Composer, then you could do something like pickle install Phalcon ext. And what that would do is the framework will search for the extension. If the extension is present, it will take over and no PHP code will be executed, giving you that extra performance. You can install both of them at the same time. The extension always takes precedent. This is a technique that our friends from Rubik's ML, I think, they have a product called Tensor that does mathematical calculations, I believe, and they do that. They have their whole implementation in PHP, and in the parts of the framework or the application that they need raw speed, they implement those in Zephyr. So they load Zephyr as well, inclusive of PHP code. So that's why I was saying it's a hybrid. So it's going to be an extension and a PHP framework. Yeah. So and also version 6 can be installed right now. You can just type composer require Phalcon, but it's not ready yet. It's not complete. We just managed to do a few namespaces, and the reason that it's not complete is because we're focusing now on version 5 just to make sure that it's nice and solid and it's out for you guys with PHP 7.4 and 8, so that that gives you a long time to upgrade or to make use of. Our modest estimations are that V5 is going to be out for at least 2 years. We are going to be supporting it. And then by that time, V6 and the Phalcon extension would mature more in order to give everybody a better how shall I put this? To give everybody enough time to adapt their applications. Now, because I mentioned earlier about this, let's remove everything let's remove everything from the top level and put it all in namespaces. That could actually offer a drive to developers such as yourselves to perhaps implement either parts of Phalcon that you think that need to be faster, all right, that are not installed in the Phalcon EXT. So we could end up with a lot of smaller Phalcon Dash EXT whatever extensions. So you could have, let's say, Phalcon Dash Logger Dash EXT or Phalcon Dash Storage Dash EXT, and so on and so forth. These are just my ideas on how this could evolve, and we're just gonna play it by ear, as they say here in the US. We're just gonna see how things evolve, but definitely we want to make sure that the community has the most performance available. And I'll give you the example I always thought was really interesting. When I think it was 2015 or 16, when Zend started introducing this this model of events-driven approach. They realized that their whole what you call it, their whole framework was being slowed down just by the events manager that they had. It was an events driven approach, and one component will just fire events, right, and the events would actually do something else. So what Matthew Weir-Affini at the time said, I recall in an interview, he was saying that they were considering writing that particular piece of the application as an extension, ergo making Zend a hybrid approach. I do know that Symfony has something similar for extra boost. They have implemented parts of the framework. So this is what we're trying to do as well. I don't know who came up with the idea initially, but our friends at RubixML were the ones that actually put it into practice, and they managed to show everybody that it does work. So that's what we're going to do. Coming back to the chat, Sakura says, nice idea. I see, nice try. Arnaud Gillard says, I love Phalcon. Thanks for all. Thank you, Arnaud. Arnaud, sorry, I'm massacring your name. I can feel the next generation of PHP extensions, says Sakura. Domiland, you'll spend time on writing the same functionality in PHP and Zephyr, but you can spend that time on things like Data Mapper instead. Data Mapper is already kind of like a third maybe in V5 and V4, not all of it. And in V6, we're going to do the full implementation. Now, if the data mapper implementation or the active record implementation are proven to be slow for our taste or for your taste, then those will be implemented in Zephyr as well. Zephyr has some limitations. For instance, it doesn't allow traits. Transferring data from private or protected variables is a little bit weird. How ISO? Actually, I did. Yeah. Sorry, Izo says we need an at everyone in announcements in Discord. I missed this. I put the announcement, but I didn't put the at everyone. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so what I was saying is that Zephyr has some limitations. So in order to transfer data to private and protected properties, it's a little bit weird because you have to copy it on a local property first and then do whatever you want and then assign it. Some stuff like that. But for the most part, if you get good quality PHP code, you can convert it within a matter of hours into Zephyr. And actually, the data mapper parts that are available in Phalcon right now, and there are just a couple of them, were initially written in PHP first. That's how I did it. And then I wrote all the tests for them, and then I made sure that we have 100% code coverage. And then what I did is I converted them to Zephyr, and then when everything compiled, the tests were passing, and I knew that I had 100% coverage. So it is indeed how Anton says, it's copy pasta. And if you put some cheese in there, it's good pasta. Now, all right, let's go to the help needed, and we're gonna have more questions while we're doing the deployment, the release. So we need some help. Of course, you can test the code in V5 with alpha and all that stuff. Create issues, create new PRs with fixes. That's the ideal thing. Or at least when you create the issue, script to reproduce, something like that. If you want to give us some help with the smaller, the satellite repositories as we call them, that's incubator, docs, migrations, and so on and so forth. Those are all in PHP. So whoever wants to help on that, we need some help with Docker. And how our development environments are going to evolve, as well as the builds that are being done every time we want to deploy to RPM and deb packages. And also, we're willing to pay for those services. So don't think that we're rich, but some little compensation would be done. If you are interested, Jackerson is on Discord, so ping him. He will let you know exactly what we need. Okay. So any questions or discussions before we switched on to the live release? The MTN says, if I understand it proper, hybrid native might be the best thing to happen to this framework. I fell in love years ago because of the performance, but I also think it was holding back this framework. The need to buy VPS so I could install PHP extension to host even a simple blog app. There's always pros and cons on everything. We had a huge battle years ago with cPanel because we asked them to put Phalcon in there and they just said no. And then later on, they did. Now things are much easier because right now, as things are with a PHP extension, you can install Phalcon using Peckle. And most shared host providers will allow you to install Peckle packages. So you could do that. You have, like I said before, you have developers that really do not want to pollute, if you like, their file system with a composer require Phalcon or whatever that dumps 1,000 files under the vendor folder, right? Others really like just one extension. Others have a problem with installing that extension. They just don't want to do DevOps because installation is considered to be a DevOps. It's up and down. No matter who you ask, they're going to tell you a different story. Personally, I loved Phalcon because of the speed, and that's why I got involved. And next year is going to be my 10th year in the project. Yay. So we're hoping to help the community build better and more secure and faster applications. We know that PHP is reaching its limits in terms of performance because of the limitations in C. That's how things are, and that's why they're trying to introduce a sync called Fibers. We are monitoring also that RFP and what's going on, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna be ready when that happens to offer that functionality to the framework. Now, having said that, with pure PHP, right, just native PHP, we can start offering some asynchronous, and that is in my mind somewhere down the line, because we have the yield and the generators, and you can do a lot of async with that, ergo increasing the performance of the framework. But having said that, again, if this is a slow part of the application, we will definitely move that also in an extension in order to help with performance. And yes, Anton, thank you so much. PHP 8.1.1 will have fibers, and there is work already, at least in baby steps, to ensure that we're as ready as possible when 8.1 comes out. All right, so let's head over to the release and just hook up my PHP Storm. And I need something else. Sakura says has a cat and I don't know what that is. Currently I'm working in SaaS delivery management applications, so we'll see the limit of performance of Phalcon. Well, good. I mean, anything you can share with us in terms of what we could or we couldn't do, absolutely, just let us know, and we'll definitely take that into account. And of course, we need all the feedback from you guys that we can get. So, all right. So let's see. I have my little notes on the side, and let's see what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do this from my repo. All right. So first things first. For the release is opening Phalcon, and then support version. All right. So 0.1.4. So we need to do this too. Yeah, alpha 2. All right. We need to open Alright, so we need to open the config.json and appfair. We got rid of appfair. Config.json, that's gonna be alpha 2. Appfair, we get rid of it. We need the GitHub one. Build and test here. Build and test needs okay, that's fine. Phalcon 0. We need to make sure that the changelog is updated. Alright, so alpha 2 will be 2021-05-05. We got the change section, the added section, and the fix section, which is good. I think we should be okay. We need to change the package XML. This is the interesting part. This is the the PECL one. Alright, so we need to copy this. Alright, and then in the package XML we need to do 05, 05, we can just leave that, blah blah blah. I don't know what to put here. The release is alpha, right? So how do we put alpha 1 here? I don't know how to do it. Alright, so this is the changelog. How do you do the alpha 1 here? I got this table. All right. Yeah, Han. Yeah. All right. All right. I don't know. I don't know, Izo. Maybe that will work. I'll just put it. I don't know how they do this. There was one time I was just. You think Alpha 2? That's the thing. I did try one time to do this, and it started complaining that this is not a valid version for Peckle or something. Alright, let's do Alpha 2 there. Alright, let's see. Anton, I don't have Telegram loaded, so give me a sec. Let me just load it up real quick. Alright, give me a second, guys. I'm just reading something real quick. Alright, so it's should be this. Okay. Yeah, Anton, I didn't have Telegram open on my machine. I just had it on my phone, and then I put the phone on Do Not Disturb, so I never saw what you sent me. Alright, so name, user, email active, blah blah blah, date, time, version, release, stability, get rid of the notes, contents, dependencies. This here, the 8.03 is not. Alright, paramin version can be set to 1.10. This one? 1.10 per installer. Okay. So what should we put here? Because Remy said max version 8.03 doesn't seem to make sense. So what should we put there? Any ideas? Alright, so per is this, Peckle is that. Alright, so we fixed this part, which is fine. This one I don't understand. 8099. Alright. 8099, whatever my buddy says. I don't know. Okay. Alright, so let's do this. Oh, hold on a sec. There's one other thing that he did mention in PHP Phalcon H. Here. Oh, okay. This one changed. All right. All right. Just wanted to make sure that that one was the case. So get this. Get add. Fixed. see now. Let's see here. Let's do the generate. Okay. Let's do generate here. The XD folder that we've changed. Let's see, we got something weak. Yeah. Getting back to my thing, cd build, php gen build. So now let's get back to the Docker environment. Let's compile it and let's have a look. So this is wrong here. This one should be 1 and this one should be 2. Because this one is the alpha version and then this is alpha 2. Alright. Thanks for the heads up, bud. That's for Jackerson. So we know we have a problem here, so let me quickly do this and then we will recompile and then just run the version as well. Ta-da-da. I promise my computer is not an 8086 from 1989. It's relatively good, but I'm guessing it's bound to be slow, this compilation, because I'm doing it through PHP Storm, the terminal that they offer, so it's always in one layer on top of another, and then on top of that I have Docker, and then I'm compiling in there instead of doing everything in one go. So hold on a sec. I need to do a little command here, which I forgot how to do it. So let me get this. Let's paste this, and then we're gonna do it's minus R, I think. Yeah. I didn't do it correctly. I have one extra. Alright, 500 beta. Okay, so yeah, that was definitely wrong. It wasn't 2 here. It should have been 1 here and 2 there. Alright, so let's do this. Let's open another. Put this. Put add. Corrected the version. Let's go back to terminal 1, and then we do Zephyr full clean, Zephyr build, oops, generate. So this one will generate the files again. And then cd build php gen build. Let's go back here and add all these files. Alright, so now let's do compile. And let's see that it does output the correct version. Meantime, I'm trying to sign into GitHub on the browser because we're going to need it for the pull request. Okay, so that one is done. Let's see, the extension has been done. Okay. Come on. Do you guys have any questions or anything like that? Yay. Alright. 5.0 Alpha 2. come on, man. There we go. Alright, so 5.00 alpha 2, that's the perfect one. It's correct. Okay, so now that we got that part done, we need to switch to the browser again. There we go. And I just need to push this thing upstream. In my branch. And then if I refresh here, GitHub should be smart enough to tell me that, well, actually it wasn't that smart. Anyway, so let's change to and then create a pull request. Yes. And we need this one to be 5 and this one to be 5. What did I do? So need and see Phalcon 5. Oh, there you go. 5 had recent pushes 1 minute. That's what I was waiting for. The okay. So compare and pull request. So we need 5 here. Why can't I do this? Is this the... did I push it straight to the... Oh, dang. Okay. I pushed it straight to the 5. Alright. So I guess we can do compare and pull requests from 5 to master. Alright. Okay, cannot automatically merge. Alright, that's fine. So release 5.0.0 alpha 2. And then the label would be release. Okay. So we can create a pull request. Alright, so there's something going on here. There's conflicting files. Alright. So let me just do the conflicting files stuff. Come on, man. Come on. This thing doesn't like me. This thing is really annoying. Why doesn't it stay there? Here, command line instructions. That's what I want. Unbelievable. All right. -B. All right, so let's switch back to the code. And apparently, what they say to do is this. So let's delete that. So they're saying git fetch origin. Right. There's a copy button at the right of git. Okay. Well, the conflicts, I cannot do them up here. I have to do them somewhere else. So what you want to do is we want to merge master into this. Alright, so this is my branch, my fork rather. Alright. Now it's 5. So what they want to do is git merge master. This one? Really? Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, guys. So we deleted this. You're not going to be able to see this. It's a different window that pops up, but I'm pretty much using beyond compare to compare what we have in one branch versus another. So it won't be more than a minute or so. So the change log. Alright, so what do we do here? What's the difference? There's one thing that was missed. Alright, so we're gonna copy that. And in the fixed, there's one thing that was missed in the actually, I'm gonna have to fix this outside, so this one is fine for now. Okay, so that one is there. I need the change log, and you guys are gonna see what the issue is, what was missed rather. It's this part here. So we added this to Phalcon. Okay. Alright, so this one needs to be removed actually, because it was this part here and this part here. So that one is done. So this git push should do the trick. Alright. I really should remove the backups that it does whenever you do a diff. Let's look at the browser. This one should start again. time. You think Jerkerson to do this? The build and test. Alright. I'll make that change in the build and test. Okay. Let's flip to the code again. GitHub workflows, build and test. There you go. Alpha 2. So this one is pushed up. Let's go to the camera again here. Alright, so we resolve this. Alright, so it's starting again. Now, while we're waiting for this thing to work, we go here and we go to releases. We say draft and new release. Target is going to be master v5 alpha 1 will become alpha 2, and then we copy that. Then we need to go back to the changelog and copy everything. Alright, so what we're going to do is create a discussion and save the draft and leave it there as a draft. And come back here, just make sure that everything is working. So far the static code analysis and everything is done. Where's the pickle package? I need to find it. It's probably gonna be available when it's done, I guess, because here you see these artifacts. When everything is done, I'm gonna have the artifact of pickle, so I can take that and install it on and put it in the release, and also this was win builds. Okay, that's fine. Also, the artifacts are going to have the Windows builds as well. Here, these Windows builds. So Jackerson did an excellent job, really outstanding job of getting us off up there. And you know, we would wait for a very, very long time, something like nearly 3 minutes per build, and then of course you had the thread safe, non-thread safe of each version, so you could end up with around 5 to 10 DLLs or something like that. So yeah, that was not a happy case scenario. So let's wait for these guys to finish. It's definitely much faster here. Oh, it was Alexander. Oh, apologies. Alexander was the one that made the builds. Sorry, I don't want to to take the kudos from Alexander. He's been helping a lot with the project, so. Alright, so let's see here. Install package. This is one of the things that I like about GitHub Actions. It can do a lot of things concurrently, so it doesn't take as long as it used to. Also, through the new processes, I forgot to mention this, guys. Anton slash Jickerson did a great job with streamlining the build files that we have with GitHub Actions, and very soon we're gonna be pretty much not dependent on any other package or service, if you like, other than GitHub Actions. The way we used to do it was you would make a pull request for a new release, then everything would go to Travis. Travis would run all of our tests, and then once that was done, at the same time Appware would build all the DLLs, and that would happen for every single push that we would do, or for every single pull request. There were times that we even had to wait for hours until until all the builds were done, especially for Appware. But then once that was done, you would just wait until all the jobs were finished in this pull request. Then you would merge the pull request, and then new jobs would start running because it's a brand new merge. Once those were done and you had the release tag, then you would have to go to Packagist and then start again with the Packagist. Oh, sorry, Package Cloud. I always mix them up. Apologies. Then you would have your tag, and then you would start the Package Cloud builds, which again were and still are in Travis. And then that would build everything with different Docker images, and then it would start sending all the data back to Package Cloud so that people can start installing the new version using that. Now, we are going to, at some point in the very near future, remove that part of Travis / Package Cloud and use GitHub Actions to push everything into Package Cloud. And we're gonna make sure that everything goes into nightly builds and all that stuff, just to make sure that the framework is building and is being compiled properly every single commit, or as often as we can. Let me just refresh this, see where we're at. Okay, we're building. So Sakura says also about the news about the injection backdoor inside the PHP source, the reputation of PHP goes down. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was actually, let me explain what my thoughts are. These are my personal thoughts. This is how I see it. I see this as a good thing that it happened. So in case you guys missed it, PHP, the source of PHP was in Git. And they had an installation on their own server of Git, and they would just push data here and there and whatever, right? So you would have Rasmus, you would have Nikita Popov, and other people, Sandor Lai, and so on and so forth. So all these people would have their own personal accounts on that Git installation. Well, somebody made a mistake somewhere. Right, and there was a little security hole that somebody else found and got into that Git server and did a pull request, or I think committed code simulating that Rasmus did this, as far as I remember, right? And then Nikita Popov saw it and he said, you know, that's something wrong. They were trying to inject code that will allow somebody with a specific password to get into any installation using HTTP headers. So then Nikita reverted that commit, and then the attacker impersonated Nikita again to redo it, to revert the revert. So to inject the code again,
and then somebody else just unreverted it. But that gave a really, really good lesson to everybody that, you cannot be doing everything on your own. You have to leave, um, you have to delegate certain responsibilities to people that are smarter than you are. And that's what we're trying to do as well, always. So, to give you my personal example, I'm by no means a designer, right? I cannot make good websites. I can work magic in the back end, and I have really really good techniques of how I can optimize things, this, that, the other. But if you ask me to create a beautiful website, the way it looks, everything will be blue, and you're probably gonna be using Arial, and that's pretty much it. So I cannot do that. So for these purposes, I delegate to somebody else that they can do it. That they have this talent. So my argument here is that the PHP team, the source team, actually brought the whole repository into GitHub, and GitHub has a very very established record of having the code there. It's secure, as secure as can be. I'm pretty sure they're getting attacked every single second of of every single day, but this management and the DevOps that the PHP team is wasting, so to speak, in doing those DevOps, maintaining the server and all that stuff, they delegated to GitHub, and that's pretty much it. The the hack or something was never ever released as a version ever. It was everything that happened in a day or two, the tops. So for me, it was actually a good thing that these guys actually delegate those responsibilities for the code to GitHub, and then they don't have to worry about it, right? So that's my 2 cents anyway, as we say here in the U.S. All right, so we got 2 green lights here. We got more stuff running. Okay, no files were found in the provided path. Compile errors log. No artifacts will be excellent. This is not a bad thing here. Just because we don't have compile errors.log, it means that everything is fine. We have a little section here that Anton put into the build file. If ever there's a problem with compiling the extension here, this whole compile errors file is uploaded as the artifact of this job, of this whole big task, and then we can inspect it and see what's wrong, because this is something that happens in GitHub, and we don't have access to those containers other than what's going on. Alright, so let's have a look. Let's refresh this. Still working. Alright. So we got Mac and Windows. So Anton, how does this create release work? We don't have it yet ready yet, right? I think the idea was to make sure that given a workflow. Oh, okay. Oh, so it will create a release. Okay. So what do we do now? So I shouldn't have created this. Hold on. I shouldn't have created this part here. The draft release. I guess this is new for me. Anton, the magician of GitHub Actions.
know what? Let me just... Actually, I don't care about that. Let me just delete this. So how do we delete this? Yay. Just wait until PR pass merges and then make the release. Yeah, but will it create a release on its own? If it does, then I have to edit that and put this text in there and just... I don't know what will happen with this thing that it says create discussion for this release. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see how it goes. And actually, I don't know how to delete this part, but I guess I'll find it. All right. So let's see where we're at here. It does take a while, but it definitely doesn't take as much as it used to. This one started spinning now. Alright, this one is installing packages, the Windows boxes. Nice, the 8 finished, I think. Alright, this one finished too. These two 8s. The thread safe and non-thread safe, these are done. Excellent. So we got another 4 jobs running. So we should be getting there very soon. So we're 1 hour and 40 minutes into this this Hangout. So I'm guessing the release is taking close to an hour. And if you guys remember, the last time we did a live release with the old way, it was over 3 hours just to do one. So definitely we slashed the time to release significantly. And again, I'll just say this one more time. If somebody knows more than we do, if you guys know better GitHub Actions, or some things that we could be doing faster or better, by all means, open an issue a pull request. I mean, we don't know everything. We're just pretty much researching ourselves and we're finding it. Okay, and actually Anton says that, all right, I'm just going to read this here. The create release is ready when the branch's master will create a release. So after the PR is merged, magic will happen. We're just going to have to wait until this whole thing finishes, and then we're just going to figure out where the release happens. And also on the slowness, he mentions that it is slow because there's some bug with the Composer. It cannot install packages because GitHub started to have some API limitations when there is no token. It's not really a bug, but a feature from GitHub. Yeah, definitely a feature. Alright, so Windows is nearly done and macOS is picking it up. That's fine. I mean, we have still a bit of work to do, but slashing the time from 3 hours to 1 hour, it's a huge win for us. Yeah, this is the thing. Failed to download Sebastian from dist, could not authenticate against github.com, so this is the problem that Anton was saying. This is the Windows one, which is pretty much close to the end. There you go, tests are passing. Excellent. So the Windows builds are pretty much done. Now all we have to do is just wait for Mac OS. There you go. Okay, so Sakura says he has to go. I should go now. We'll sleep only 5 hours this night. I would love to stay, but no chance. Thanks to the team for the hard work and have a good day, night, morning. Yes, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks, of course, to everybody. So have a nice evening, nice night, and see you later. So let's wait for this thing to be done. Dun dun dun. Alright, so it's just installing packages here. This thing is just crazy. At least it finished the download part. Let's see about this guy. Alright, this one is in installation again, still. This one is 14 out of 96. So yeah, that's pretty much what Anton was saying. I'm kind of like repeating myself here. But yeah, you have to wait until everything gets downloaded. I'm hoping that this thing gets fixed. I don't know if we have to put a GitHub token there or something. I'm not sure. We'll just figure it out. Just make sure that this thing is going on faster. But yeah, we cannot complain after all this time. So Anton says, for sure it will be fixed. Probably will add a composer.log. Yes, absolutely. Suleiman, hello, welcome. Some people say PHP died. It's true. No, it is not true. PHP is alive and kicking, as they say. There's thousands, if not millions, actually millions definitely, of applications running within PHP. And the latest version came out as 8. They're working on 8.1. So yeah. this guy. That's fine. This check is skipped. Alright, so let's go to pull requests. This guy. Way to go, buddy. 20 years using PHP. Alright, so some checks have not completed yet. We're waiting for this guy here. Okay. So now moving into Golang. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing with Golang or just using it. I don't know. I've never used Golang, to be quite frank with you. So it appears that it's very powerful. So, all right, Rookie X. This is same here. It's almost 7 a.m. here. Keep up the good work. Appreciate all you've done for this framework. The framework from the bottom of my heart. Good night. Good morning. Same to you, my friend. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you Discord, social media, GitHub, anywhere. Okay. Alright, Suleiman says my API was built in with Phalcon. That's great. That's excellent. 2000 SMS %. Cool. That's really good to hear. And Anton says to Suleiman, in Golang you can't write much business logic, but it is good in places where PHP has bottlenecks. Yeah, absolutely. I think Roadrunner is a web server of sorts that uses Golang in the backend and integrates with Spiral, I think is the framework. So yeah, there's definitely applications for it. Absolutely. Yeah, RabbitMQ and so on and so forth. All right. So here we are. Merge pull requests. Confirm. Yay. All right. So we merged this. Now what do we do? Okay, so we need to figure out the binaries here. Let's see. I don't want the code coverage. I want the summary. No, I don't want that. Your workflow runs. It's doing. Okay. Merge and publish the release. Alright, okay. So Anton says just publish the release. Alright, I'll just publish the release. Whatever you say. Hit it. Alright, there you go. There's the release. It will trigger for CI for release and run the last step to create the release. Okay. Alright, buddy. I believe you. I believe you. I've never done this before, so, you know. It is what it is. Alright, so this merge pull request is done. So this is our new release, guys. This is what we've done so far. It's been a lot of tidying up. I did mention about the support namespace, a lot of locale work, clarifications. So the logger, for instance, had something like get name, and it was the actual get level name. So it was very confusing. Even me that wrote it was confused when I was looking at it. That's why we changed it. actually we got this new little class here, interpolate. So it will do interpolation, um, and more are gonna be added here. Um, we got more verbosity in terms of calculations when you're running the profiler. So you're gonna have the total elapsed milliseconds, the total elapsed nanoseconds, and the total elapsed seconds, just to give you more precision. Binary by binary. Support for MySQL. Some other stuff which were pretty much bugs. We've added this little factory that will probably inject it into the DI so that people can pretty much use it anywhere they want to. And this helper factory will allow you to have different the tiny functions that you need. So interpolate, str, concatenate, or capitalize, and so on and so forth. And we did a few fixes. Alright, so Suleiman is saying that his Phalcon PHP version is 2, 10 years old, no, has not rebooted the machine. Well, good for you, buddy. So, way to go. I just got a little message from Anton. So, what about NoSQL? Phalcon does not support NoSQL right now. There used to be in your version, Suleiman, in version 2 and in version 3, there used to be Mongo support for NoSQL. Unfortunately, when the driver changed, the driver that we were using in Phalcon was really old and it was deprecated. It was no longer supported, so we had to try and change it in version 4. But that required a lot of work, and it required new interfaces to be injected into Phalcon, and that was a showstopper for us. We could not do this because then it would have required everybody that wanted to use Phalcon to install the MongoDB extension, whether you wanted to use it or not, right? So what we did in the end is we put the MongoDB into the incubator, so people can install it now. I don't remember what the real status is. I think TacticX was working on that, but with the new changes that are coming for version 5 and version 6, we'll definitely address this and have NoSQL drivers and all that. Nice. Nice. Suleiman says my company name is Phalcon GSM. Cool. That's really cool to hear. All right, guys. We've been at this for a couple of hours now. I don't want to keep you. Oh, there you go. We got the reply from Anton, who knows more about this. So the MongoDB is ready for use for V4 via Composer. So there you go. And yeah, I don't want to keep you any longer. These jobs will run, and we're gonna have everything sorted out in the release, all the artifacts. And right after this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch over to the package cloud. Actually, I can do that now. So that we can actually push the jobs to the RPMs and the devs. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So this is the package cloud.
PC says. Alright, so come on. Alright, so let's see what we got here. 1.2. Continue. Skip. Alright, so don't forget to change the names for V5 to separate repositories. Yes, we do need to do that. Alright, so let's have a look. First things first, in the environment, we need to do what? So this is the GitHub version, RE2C. The Zephyr version is 13.4. Parsers 136. Stable, really? Anyway, I'll figure this out with Anton offline. All right, I'm gonna unless anybody has any questions, I'm just gonna end the stream. We're at 2 hours right now, and you know, it's getting late. Some people getting really earlier for some. So unless anybody has any questions, I'd like to thank everybody for sticking with us here for this live release. Thank you for all your suggestions and all your support. All right. Anything you guys need, you can find us on Discord. And yeah. Take care, everybody. Bye.